Insects that are commonly found during ghost research outdoors have become the greatest challenge for ghost researchers in differentiating between environmental phenomenon appearance and ghost manifestation appearance captured on slow shutter video recording. Therefore, this remarkable controversy on ghost appearance, beyond the orthodox thinking concept, has become the challenge for many to accept the truth on ghost multi-energy configurations, way past the fundamental 5 physical senses. Furthermore, the infinite communication between the living and the spirit of the dead occurs in many forms, bringing about a phenomenon that is beyond logical thinking, that not only challenges orthodox thinking, in suggesting that ghost appearance must be in human form, and transparent, but also stemming from unexplainable ghost manifestation appearances, recorded on video recording from empirical evidences of Malaysian ghost research. Unfortunately, the mystery related to the universe is truly beyond imagination. If we could imagine the existence of the first cause, the creator of the universe, that is beyond the imagination, then it would not be a problem at all for one to understand the concept of oneness, in that everything which exists individually, being a unique energy force in many levels of existence, is truly one in God's mind without exception. Unfortunately, our current level of existence does not permit us to have knowledge that enables us to understand what is beyond the reach of our fundamental 5 physical senses, unless we start to see ourselves as a whole complete person, truly one with the body, soul and mind, the conscious singularity. Furthermore, utilizing the completeness of our personality enables us to attain personal realizations, being reconnected with the source of life, by means of utilizing the mind power, and be connected with the inner body and the mental body at the higher spiritual consciousness, through the conscious mind, the subconscious mind and the superconscious mind. These 3 types of minds not only awaken our spiritual consciousness, but also enable us to understand the existence of every fabric of energy force that exists beyond imagination. The statement of the problem, the concept of ghost metaphysics, bugs and unpredictable ghost appearance. The reason why many of us have failed to understand the existence of ghosts is because our thinking vibrations cannot go beyond the mind bubble of our organic brain. In contrast, many visitors of the Malaysian ghost research site have failed to understand, or were able to accept the Malaysian ghost research evidence of ghost existence, simply because of their inability to understand the concept of ghost metaphysics. Hence, the unpredictability of ghost appearance, that does not tally with the perception of the 5 physical senses, which assume that ghosts must appear in human form or seen as transparent, in accordance with orthodox thinking, has caused many to label the Malaysian ghost research evidences to be merely that of bugs. Remember, there are many things that exist beyond the senses of our sight, in the form of energy that truly exists within the consciousness of the first cause, such as the existence of water in the form of gas that is invisible to our sight, which remains invisible until manifested in reality in the form of HO molecules. Similarly, no one can read what is in the researcher's mind, because the mind is in the form of energy of thought vibrations, until it is decoded into reality in the form of writing and audio. The discussion methodology. In the process of addressing this controversial ghost appearance that has been captured on video by Malaysian ghost research, the researcher has included scientific explanations by entomology experts on certain phenomenon that explain the nature of insects, bugs, light and the paranormal itself, in order to shed light on our understanding of the truth of ghost appearance, and at the same time, to indirectly confirm what was captured by Malaysian ghost research were indeed empirical evidence of ghost energy manifestation. The discussion and focus: bugs, light and ghost appearances. This article is focused on bugs, light and ghost appearances that were recorded on video by Malaysian ghost research that have been labeled as bugs by many. Hence, in the process of addressing this issue, the discussion is mainly based on scientific explanations by the entomology expert Dr. Dugyanaga, who has had over 20 years of experience in the entomology field research, from the Department of Entomology Research Museum, University of California. His scientific explanations had been acquired by the researcher through a series of questions related to bugs and light from personal communication with him by email, as well as based on field research evidence that the researcher had collected in the form of visuals, in search for explanation. The scientific explanation: do bugs detect the existence of infrared light beam emitting 0 lux of light? Since evidence from Malaysian ghost research were also recorded under an infrared mode, therefore in the researcher's opinion, insects bugs may not detect the existence of the infrared light beam emitting 0 lux of light. In this respect, entomology experts have confirmed that any insect that feeds on blood so as to locate their hosts can detect infrared emissions. Furthermore, the expert added that it cannot be said that no insects cannot see infrared simply because most insects cannot. In fact, there are over 10 million species of insects, so it is hard to make any general statements that will apply to all 10 million species. Hence, there are almost always exceptional cases of insects being able to detect infrared emissions. Moreover, the entomology expert explains that infrared emissions, like visible light, are varied in their wavelengths. So, whether a source is natural or artificial is not as important as an infrared wavelength, for, if it is the correct wavelength, then the insect will detect it, regardless of the type of source. Solution on bugs distractions during paranormal video recording. Meanwhile, the researcher truly agrees with expert opinion based on field experiences, especially those of insects that feed on blood, such as mosquitoes that hover around the researcher during the researcher's investigation in the dark. However, based on the Malaysian ghost research experience, it was found that the only problem arising in the paranormal and ghost research videography outdoors using infrared light would be the distraction coming from mosquitoes. However, in the case of Malaysian ghost research paranormal video recording, it has been one of their standards and protocols for paranormal videography that during the recording, the researcher is recommended not to stay around near the video recorder, as mosquitoes would be attracted to any person standing nearby that would further distract the recording. Therefore, it is not important whether bugs insects can or cannot detect infrared emission, as it is their living habit to detect blood through any person in the darkness. The groups of insects that feed on blood. The researcher had asked for further expert clarification on other groups of insects that feed on blood, other than the mosquito, whereby the entomology expert confirmed that there are a number of groups of flies that feed on blood, such as biting gnats, horse and deer flies, phlebotomine flies, and more, as well as things like fleas and lice, and a few non-insect groups such as ticks, which they use infrared to home in on their food supplier. Yet, all insects categorized by the expert above are not commonly found during the Malaysian ghost research paranormal investigations, except for the mosquito and leeches that are found during paranormal investigations in a jungle. Insect that feed on blood only attracted to their blood supply. The entomology expert did not confirm whether those insects that feed on blood were only attracted to the infrared emission coming from the non-blood supplier, or whether they were only attracted to infrared emission coming from any of their hosts, i.e., their blood supplier. Yet, it is logical that those insects that feed on blood are only attracted to the infrared that is emitted from their blood supplier, based on the researcher's experience of being hovered over by mosquitoes in the dark. Interestingly, based on Malaysian ghost research's most recent ghost research findings, mosquitoes are attracted by mistake to infrared emission from non-blood suppliers if humans happen to be near infrared devices. However, leeches most of the time are not attracted to emitted infrared emission from videos, perhaps because they cannot fly. Hence, for this reason, Malaysian ghost research recommends that for paranormal videography, a person must not stand nearby the video camera in order to avoid the distractions from the mosquito that flies around. because the mosquito is actually not interested in the infrared emission emitted from the video infrared device, but rather, it is more attracted to the person who is their blood supplier. The scientific explanation: insects navigation in the dark. What about insect navigation in the dark? Do these types of insects navigate based on the infrared emission from their host, or from the natural light such as moonlight? The entomology expert explains that insect navigation in the dark is different, as nearly all insects that fly at night use ultraviolet and visible wavelengths to navigate, but their flight habits will differ. That is why certain types of insects are not as commonly encountered as artificial lights, not because the light cannot attract them, but because their habits do not cause them to be active in the right place at the right time to get them trapped there. The most obvious thing being that many insects cannot fly at all. Therefore, the given explanations confirm that many insects cannot fly at all. Hence, insects commonly found in dark at night would be mosquitoes as well, moths attracted to visible light. Bugs and visible light. Further discussion would be focusing on visible light and insects, bugs that are truly important for us to realize the existence of other living creatures within God's mind that holds every fabric of existence, including living energy. Therefore, to understand this might of the physical existence, it is impossible to know everything at one go on our own. Nevertheless, we are glad that there are entomology experts who are willing to share their expertise with us in our process of finding the truth about the mysterious anomaly appearance captured on video by Malaysian ghost research, as this knowledge is very important for us to understand and live in harmony with others in the universe. Therefore, in the researchers' earlier paranormal investigations, not having had any infrared device yet, the researcher used 20-watt external light that would attract insects, especially moths, that would fly around a few times circling the video camera before it hit the external light. The scientific explanation: do any kind of bugs coming directly at high speed towards the camera, but before crashing into the camera, would disappear or change its direction fairly quickly. There would be occasions where a mysterious kind of anomaly comes directly at high speed towards the camera, probably attracted to the camera light, yet would not crash into the video camera, but instead would disappear or change its direction, as shown in the video below. Therefore, the researcher had asked the entomology expert's opinion if there was any possibility of any kind of insects, out of more than 10 million species, having the ability to disappear in the air or changing its directions immediately, before crashing into artificial light. The expert explained that video cameras record data in such a way, and at such a speed, that many events that take only a fraction of a second will not resolve properly. In fact, the expert stressed that the video camera is too artificial a recording medium to be trusted as a faithful representation for what happens. This explanation refers to an anomaly characteristic that mysteriously vanishes into the air. Furthermore, the entomology expert stressed that most insects that fly can change direction fairly quickly. If they could not, then they would be easy prey for birds and bats and other flying predators. Flying predators such as birds and bats are not attracted to nor hits visible light. In contrast with what the entomology expert had said about most insects that flew could change direction fairly quickly unless they become easy prey for birds, bats and other flying predators. Based on the paranormal videography outdoor experience Malaysian ghost research has had for the past 19 years, it was found that insects, such as mosquitoes and moths, do hit light sources or the video recorder. However, birds, bats and other flying predators have never been attracted nor crashed into light sources or the video camera, although some of them would have been attracted to light sources, yet never crashed into them unless, where at the very most, they would only fly through light sources in the form of a cave opening that became the doorway for birds and bats to go in and out. The video recording below has recorded a bat flying by, yet it does not hit nor is even attracted to the 20 watts external video light device. The scientific explanation: no reason to believe that any insect is literally capable of vanishing. In contrast, the entomology expert added that there really is no reason to believe that any insect is literally capable of vanishing. Yet, the first of the characteristics that the researcher mentioned is referring to the image below, that vanishes before it reaches the bottom of the screen, which is one of the few examples of the many unexplainable appearances that have been captured on video by Malaysian ghost research. Yet, at the same time, we must not forget that technological advances have given us the ability to resolve many events that take only a fractions of a second to be analyzed, since the video does not lie, as it records what it sees, and replays what it has captured. Hence, the image above was also extracted from a frame, that only a fraction of an event was captured on video, but because of the advance of technology, the 3 seconds of the mysterious unexplainable appearance still can be analyzed. But, the question is, why did it vanish? As the entomology expert confirmed, no insect literally has the capability of vanishing in the air. Hence, the insect ability to vanish in the air is beyond physics law. Therefore, this explanation indirectly confirms that this unexplainable appearance that has the capability of vanishing in the air indeed is not related to insects nor bugs as witnessed in the video below. However, from the 4th year of paranormal investigation till today, the researcher used an external infrared device during paranormal investigations, in the cemetery or jungle, whereby the disturbances that generally came from insects were reduced dramatically except for mosquitoes that hovered round the researcher standing in the dark nearby around the video, which were also recorded. Hence, this experience has given the researcher personal realization that the researcher has to position himself a distance of 10 meters away from the video camera. Yet, there was a mysterious anomaly still interested in approaching the camera, but which at the same time had the ability to disappear or change its shape immediately. Hence, for this particular issue, the researcher is actually referring to the ability of the mysterious anomaly to change from one appearance to another, captured on video by the Malaysian ghost research, and another example shown in the video below, where as an anomaly, it within a split second discharged in the air into mist, and disappeared. Rod-like shape with rippling edges due to movement of wings related to insect. The entomology expert explained that other than changes in the shape, due to the beating of wings in a video image, the movement of the wings is blurred, and creates very peculiar artifacts, such as making the insect appear as a rod-like shape with rippling edges, as shown in the video below. This is a known video artifact, a byproduct of how video cameras work, and has nothing to do with how the insect is actually shaped. Basically, The video image is a time-lapse, superimposing several images of the same insect over an interval of time during which the insect changes position rapidly. According to the entomology expert, you cannot use video images to study the shape or movement of flying insects, for their movement relative to the camera recording speed and depth of field is too great. So, in this aspect, the entomology expert is truly right that insects would appear to be rod-like with a rippling edge that refers to insects' contrail, that would be seen as long, rod-like with a zigzag appearance, representing the action of flapping wings, as shown in the images below. The scientific explanation: what kind of bugs appear in rod-like shape showing no ripples that can be associated with the movement of flapping wings? Do wingless insects fly? The question is, how about rod-like shapes that show no ripples, or a zigzag appearance? The researcher had asked whether wingless insects could travel in the air, as the Malaysian ghost research video has captured the appearance of an unexplainable anomaly that traveled in the air which showed no indication of the action of flapping wings, as shown below. However, the entomology expert confirmed that wingless insects could not fly at all, confirming that those rod-like anomalies which appeared without ripples due to flapping of wings were not related to insects' bugs, but were indeed living energy as shown in the image example below, showing an anomaly going upwards without any sign of the action of flapping wings. Furthermore, if a wingless insect cannot fly, then it is truly illogical to say that this is an insect or bug. Hence, what explanations is there for this phenomenon then? Indeed, it is truly something that is beyond the explanation as perceived by our fundamental five physical senses, since it truly represents the living energy forces generated from beyond the spirit world. The scientific explanation: can there be any possibility of any kind of insect able to discharge itself into the air in the form of mist? The final question is, can there be any possibility of any kind of insect able to discharge itself into the air in the form of mist? This final question above was to clarify the mysterious anomaly appearance phenomenon that was captured on the Malaysian ghost research video. Perhaps within the more than 10 million species of insects, there are maybe exceptional cases of insects that have the ability to discharge itself into the air in the form of mist, such as the image below extracted from the video above. However, the entomology expert confirms that no insect has the ability to discharge itself into the air in the form of mist. Nonetheless, the expert added that moths will shed scales from their wings, and that can appear as a mist, but they do not dissolve. Therefore, if the entomology expert has confirmed that no insect can discharge itself into the air in the form of mist, nor vanish in the air, then this unexplainable appearance of mysterious anomaly cannot be associated with insects nor bugs, but instead only can be truly an energy force generated by an unseen entity. Conclusion: based on the scientific explanation by the entomology expert, with regard to bug-insect behavioral patterns in many aspects, that include its appearance patterns captured on video recording, that not only has given us a factual and logical explanation, but also at the same time discreetly confirms that what was captured by Malaysian ghost research indeed is related to the manifestation of ghost. Therefore, the phenomenon mystery related to the metaphysics of ghost appearance does not only need personal awareness towards the might of physical existence understanding. Yet, at the same time it truly requires personal spiritual awareness, by means utilizing the inner peace, the universal mind. As for the truth, there is no absolute knowledge until we reach the ultimate destiny in the state of perfection, completeness and becoming one with the universal consciousness, in the form of conscious singularity.